This is the art of soft skills. Welcome.
We are glad you are here. We're changing the conversation in healthcare today to focus on non-clinical soft skills that are completely focused on human emotions.
We're going to walk through the psychology behind how people connect so we can become master communicators using soft skills.
And the reason we want to be masters at communication is because that solves almost any problem we have. We all know we cannot control other people, but we can control how we show up in any situation that's handed to us with patients, teammates, our boss, and the people in our lives outside of practice. And when we know how to do this through soft skills, spoken and unspoken, we take control of the narrative of our lives, our relationships, our success here at work, and ultimately our happiness. Session today will start by opening up our mindset to new perspectives and define what we believe.
In the coming weeks, we'll dig in and learn or upskill soft skills ranging from body language tips from CIA experts who can read anyone to understanding human psychology and how our brains process each other's signals.
We're excited you're joining us to become masters of soft skills.
We're here to make you feel connected, informed, and safe so that you can make sure patients and the people around you feel that way too. And we do this by knowing what we believe and what to do. Soft skills are just people skills, which we all need because people are the best.
That's my girl. That's my lady. I love you. I love you. You're my hero.
And people are also the worst.
This complete torture, and I don't know what I did to somebody to make me sit here and do this, and I just don't think it's nice.
Soft skills solve our people problems.
When it's not enough to just be great and efficient and excellent at our hard skills, because the patient can't feel it if we're also not really good at our soft skills. As we all know from our own experience, there is a huge difference between knowing we are safe and feeling we are safe.
Technical skills make sure patients are connected, informed, and safe, while soft skills make sure patients feel connected, informed, and safe.
Soft skills should never compromise our excellence. They should and will complement it if you choose to use them.
We're the patient. When it's our body, it feels vulnerable. We want more than a transaction in a vulnerable moment ourselves. We want more than a transaction in a vulnerable moment for our mom, dad, sister, brother, child, friend. We're all patients. Let's put ourselves in their shoes. Think of when you've been a patient and had a good experience and a bad experience at an appointment with a person or people in the practice. Pause and spend a few moments reflecting if it makes you feel good, confident, or taken care of in the positive experience.
And then what felt transactional or bad in the negative experience. If you're on your own, take a moment and share your answers here. If you're in a group, pick a partner and share it with them. Write this down in your handout and pick one of you to share with the group. As a patient, it is an experience that is not neutral. It will feel either good or bad. We want to feel not only excellence, but someone's passion for what they do. Not just sterile precision, but personal attention to us in that moment. Beyond objective care into empathy that to us it's a big deal, not just what they do every day. Not only a production line of good outcomes, but a feeling of appreciation. That's a great experience. I worked with an amazing nurse named Patty, and at one time my workstation was where I could overhear her greeting patients from the surgery waiting area to take them to prep for surgery. She would always greet them the same way. Hi, I'm Patty. I'm also going to be your nurse today. When I asked her why, she said it reminded her at the very start of every interaction to connect first, do second. That moment was the most important moment to her. She used her power to set the tone. No matter the patient's personality, no matter what energy they were giving off, she led with her energy and her being to connect first, do second.
Today, here's the big perspective. Intense emotions do not mean bad emotions. This is huge.
Scientists believe that negativity bias is built into our brains as humans. Our brains naturally default to negative. That's how we're wired. So we have to consciously make the decision to assume the best, not the worst. So 99% of the time, the energy we feel is most likely because a patient is nervous, scared, anxious, confused, or worried when they're here, feeling vulnerable. Or their emotions have nothing to do with us.
Okay, time out. If you're watching and saying, why do I care about sales? I work not in sales. Conversions are not part of my job. We hate to break it to you, but we are all in sales every single day. But we're not selling anything. We're selling ourselves, our practice, to everyone all the time.
He did a study on how people view sales and surveyed 5,000 people, asking them what we just asked. What do you think of when you hear the word sales? By far, most people think of the word pushy. Most of the adjectives were negative: slimy, sleazy, aggressive, ick, ugh.
If we shift our thinking, it's empowering to understand that the art of persuasion, influence, sales, and conversions are pure when it's for the good of others, when we believe in what we're selling, ourselves and our practice.
She converted a bad day into a good day, a negative perception of the surgery into hopeful anticipation, shock and anxiety into calm and clarity, and she sold the patient on trusting that the practice would take good care of her and the belief that surgery would be easier than she expected. She did all of this through persuasion, which we now know is summed up as influencing another person's thoughts, attitudes, or behavior by using logic, emotions, or credibility. That is pure. That feels good. That makes the patient's life better.
The perception is reality. You can be the nicest person and care more about patients than anyone else, but if they can't feel it, it is wasted. You can have more experience or credentials than anyone else on the team, but if the patients don't know or don't feel your expertise, it doesn't matter. How they see you is who you are to them. You can meet them in that moment of nervous energy while avoiding personal outside opinions.
We can acknowledge a feeling even if we don't agree with a perspective or fact and pivot back to the situation at hand.
Let's take our patient's perspective and blend it with ours to create a relationship. Everything that is routine to us feels vulnerable to our patients. Vulnerable moments need a guide.
Uncertainty intensifies how threatening a situation feels through fear of the unknown. So for our patients, when we are not a guide, it leaves room for this uncertainty and it creates this fear of the unknown, which is bad for not only the patient, but also us, as we can now see, because it creates this anxiety, which means they aren't able to pay attention, listen, or absorb what they need to know. To really sum it up, we believe that feelings, human emotions matter. How we make the people around us feel is one of the most important things we can master. You can be the smartest person at work, but if your boss doesn't feel like you are giving your best effort, you won't get the promotion. If you love your partner, but you don't make them feel it in the way they need to, your relationship will fail. If someone feels like you don't care, even though you do, they won't trust you.
We'll dig into practical soft skills through our weekly series, 8 minutes or less. You'll get an email when this is unlocked.
Use it as an opportunity each week to pause, take a breath, and invest in yourself. Make sure to download the app when you get your invitation email and set up Face ID so you don't forget your password. You can also set up a custom reminder.
We hope today sparked new thought, refreshed or shifted your perspective, and leaves you feeling empowered.
You are important and you have the incredible power to achieve whatever goals you have in life through human connection.
Hit next and get your cheat sheet and your certificate of completion. We'd love